welcome to Rebuilding the Beast, bro. So this podcast, right? The whole point of this is, I told you a little bit about it, but it's just this idea that we don't really talk about the stuff that we go through as athletes, and I want you to talk about your own experience because the way I see it is, coming from St. Pete, making to the league, you know, there's some other kids out there who are looking from St. Pete like I can't make it to the league. Ain't no way. I don't see no path there. And so if they see you and see your journey, they're gonna be like in the tough times that you face and the things that you went through. So I want to go through your journey to becoming an NBA champ, baby.
So like childhood and all that.
I mean, you get to share with me, kind of a little bit of your childhood.
Well, like you put it back on what you said already. I come from St. Pete. I come from a city that's really known for like drugs and killings and all that kind of stuff. So I was going to visit my dad in prison my whole life until my second year in the league. My uncle been in prison for 45 years, so it was all negative. Always been negative stuff, right? Not really negative stuff because that's what we're known for. So just that's a normal life of a kid from St. Pete. So for me, it was always different because I had big homies. I had guys who always just say, "Mo, go inside. Mo, don't do that. Don't do that." You know what I mean? So they seen some potential in me that I probably didn't see in myself. So having that kind of support in Sakaz at the time that probably wasn't ideal for me, not knowing what it really was doing and helping me out for the, you know what I mean? My mom always stood on my tail, my sister, my brother. So those guys, those is like the key people in my life who really helped me to be successful and make it out of that St. Pete area and be the only basketball player to ever make it from there. So it was an adjustment and it was definitely hard, but everything was hard getting here, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know that.
for sure. I know. Tell me.
Hard.
So at the time you said your pops was in prison.
Yeah.
What was can you talk about that?
Oh no, just my whole childhood. My dad had been in and out of prison for different small petty stuff. He'll do like 7 years then do like 5 years here. So my first time really seeing my dad outside of prison it was really my second year in the league. First time he ever played basketball in person. So I was just used to 4 or 5 years old. I'm used to getting on the bus every Saturday to go see him with my mom, my sister, my brother to go and see my dad. So that was something that kind of motivated me from a young age. I knew I didn't want to be in no situation that being locked away like that because I knew what it was. And then being able, you know what I mean? Just seeing that kind of helped me.
Yeah, but like some people see that and it gets normal. Like even me growing up in Nigeria, like people was getting into trouble all over the place. My homie, my partner, I was thinking about this the other day because I ain't really, some of the stuff that happened back then, you don't really talk about this stuff. And one of my partners that I used to kick it with all the time, he got shot dead in the street, like on some like, and there was a lot of stuff like that for me growing up where I felt like if I would have stayed, maybe I would have got in trouble. But my folks and my family saw it in me because I was still a good person in my heart. It's just that, you hang around people, you don't know what kind of thing you're going to be getting into. So for me, I wonder what did your mom say to you in those times, like that helped you, that kept you from going on that path?
It was just small stuff, man. Like I was kind of like a mama's boy, so she used to try to take me everywhere with her. And then small stuff, we all hanging out in the neighborhood. She always called me, "Maury, it's time to come to the house." It's light still on, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And my guys around the neighborhood used to laugh, like, ah. But for me, I was mad at the time, but now I'm looking back like damn, she really saw something in me and saw something in me to be able to the put that inside of me at a young age, because she didn't do that to my brother and my sister and them. She must have seen something for me because I was the youngest and seen potential in me. So I thank her all the time for that. Like, that saved my life, you know what I mean? Because like you said, I grew up, my cousins, my homies and all that going to prison, some of them dying and some of them doing life sentences right now. So I seen it all. And like you said, it was kind of like life. That was what life was about. And the stuff we did to get out of that situation is something that people never seen. So this is unfamiliar with people, and where I'm from and where you from, this is unfamiliar that to see guys making it in the league to win championships. That's unfamiliar. Like, but you seeing people die and seeing people go to prison, that's familiar. That's life. That's life for them. So this is the uncomfortable, seeing people like in our shoes. So
For you, so what put basketball in your hands? Do you remember the first time? Because I know for me as a kid, once I had this passion, I had something to focus on. I didn't really have the time because you're always practicing and doing stuff. But what put basketball in your hands? Do you remember your early journey?
So for me, it's crazy to say this, that I didn't start playing basketball until my sophomore year in high school. I played football and baseball, and that was my sports. And I hated basketball, but I always played it in the streets. So for the way I always got my soft touch is by playing in the streets, playing against older guys, playing on crates. So I was kind of like into basketball, but I always said, nah, I ain't playing high school basketball. I don't really want to do that.
Wait, just before you move on, in case anybody don't know what playing on crates is, you gotta tell us, because like you gotta explain what that is. Putting the crates up on the light pole. What did y'all put it on?
We put it on a tree.
You put the crate on the tree as a hoop.
But yeah, that's the main reason how I like started really getting into basketball. Then I grew 4 inches in 40 days. I stepped getting taller. I'm like, oh shit, I might gotta try. And now Coach Murph, shout out to Coach Murph who really put me on and really found me. It's like, Mo, you coming to this court, even when I didn't want to. So he forced me to do it, and I thank him every day for it. That's why we're so close now.
He told you, like, come get on the court. His name is Coach
Larry Murphy, coach at Gibbs High School.
And so he told you, yo, come get in the basketball court. And you know, that was the same thing for me. I met this guy. I tried out when I came to America. I tried out for the basketball high school team, and they were like, nah, this is too much of a project. He wasn't good enough. And this dude, his name is Keith Ottister. He came up to me and he was like, yo, man, come on. I got an AAU team. I want you to play for us. And at the time, I'm like, nah. But he became like a father figure for me. He really was the person that pulled me every day. And in the days that was tough, he was right there putting his arm around me as a father. Do you remember, do you have any stories like that of you and Larry Murphy?
Yeah, like, I mean, Gibbs High School, we all know, like, people from my area know that's like the hood high school. Certain kind of guys go there. So Murph always been on my tail, always yell, make you run and all that kind of stuff. And just always, you know, they just gonna talk to you bad sometimes, but where I'm from, that's tough love. When people talk nice to you, I feel like they want something from you. So I'm so used to talking bad.
I feel like that's real.
Yeah, real. Let me know what's up. Yeah, I'm not good right now. I'm not good. No, I'm not. So I know I will be good one day. Just stay with me. And he's been loyal. He's staying with me from day one, man. I've been talking to him all the time, daily almost.
I saw you had kind of transitioned to different schools when you were in high school. You went to different high schools. Went from Hargrove and Gibbs. Tell me about that.
Well, after Gibbs, I went to Alma Farragut. That was in St. Pete. I transferred because I had to leave Gibbs because my core classes. For all the kids out there who don't really know what the core classes, that was the classes that you really need to get into college. So I went to my counselor when I was in public school about my core classes. And when I went to him, it's going to my senior year, he said, I'm like 12 core classes short. I'm surprised. I'm like, hey, I thought y'all supposed to be looking out for us. But, you know what I mean? They didn't. So that summer, I was playing AAU with one of my homies. I was like, bro, how is Alma Farragut like? Because it's a military school. You got to dress up. You know what I mean? It's like that. So I was asking. I was like, bro, I want to go there. I don't know nothing about it. I just want to go there because I know it's a private school. You don't got to take the FCAT, and they're going to look out for you if you know what I mean, put the effort in. And I went there. Then after I went to Farragut, that was a life changer. Then I went to Hargrave for 1 year.
That's crazy that like you was in school, in public school, but you was in school and you get ready to graduate, but they're telling you class is short. Aren't they supposed to help you? It's almost like they didn't expect you to go to college.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm from that. People don't go to school over there. You see what I'm saying? So as an athlete, you know you need those core classes. You know you need those Spanish classes and all that kind of stuff. I go to them, they say, oh yeah, you need 12 core classes. That's like basically I'm a sophomore, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. So that's what a lot of people don't understand. I left that because of academics. I didn't leave that because of basketball. I love playing basketball there, but there was a reason why I was getting recruited by all these JUCOs. And I'm like, JUCOs, you know what I mean?
You wanted to play in college. You knew you was going to play in university.
So I went to atmospheric. I had to reclass. I did my junior year again. You know what I mean? That was something unfamiliar that I ain't know nothing about. I'm like, damn, growing up, you like, man, I don't want to stay back. I don't want to stay back. But when they broke it down, it's like, if you reclass, I'm young, I'm gonna reclass, then go to atmospheric, then I'm end up going on prep school. And I ain't know a post-grad school. I ain't know nothing about learning that stuff until they broke it down to me. And that's really what saved my life, man. It really helped my life becoming a man and become a grinder. You know what I mean? So it was wild. Then Hargrave, being up there in the military academy, first time being away from my parents, my mom, my brother, my sister, in the middle of nowhere. It was an adjustment. It was many nights that I said, man, I want to go home because I can't handle it and all that kind of stuff. But those situations right there, when people say sacrifices in life, becoming a professional athlete or become a business person or becoming somebody who owns your own business, those are sacrifices we took that we didn't understand at the time what we was doing. You know what I mean? So that's why I always look back and like, man, damn, those nights in Hargrave when you miss your family, you crying, like, you know what I mean? You can't do this. Those are the nights what made us become who we are. It made me become who I am. Because without those, I don't know where I'd be at.
What were those tough nights about? What were you crying about as a kid moving to a new school, going back? You had to go back 1 year in school, and that was part of the sacrifice for you to be able to get your credits to go to university.
So basically, those nights, and basically, like I said earlier, was when I had to go from atmospheric to Hargrave. It was in Chatham, Virginia. If anybody know about Chatham, Virginia, it's a small town. My first time being away from my family, so you know what I mean? You kind of gonna miss them. You know what I mean? I'm 17 years old. It's kind of like, oh, man, I'm really up here in Virginia by myself. I'm in this room. This other guy, I don't know him. Like, damn, I really miss because I only know my parents. I mean, my mom, my brother, my sister. I only know them. So, but in that situation, man, it was hurting because sometimes, the long nights you practicing and conditioning. You can't go home to your mom. Your mom just tell you something. I mean, you could talk on the phone, but that's a little different than being touched, being around it. You know what I mean? Just the emotion. So when I got past that stage, it kind of like took off because I kind of got cool. I was cool with the guys on my team, and I was able to go home with one of the guys who stayed close, who was Devin Carter, who's a coach right now in Lincoln for the girls team. He kind of, his family brought me in, and me being from Florida, I'm so far away, I was able to go home with him on weekends, and I kind of like made the school, the time go by fast, and that kind of like saved me. So shout out to Devin for that, man. Really appreciate that.
Those family nights, I remember, especially in college, that was one of the toughest parts for me because I was already away from home. I left Nigeria when I was 14. I left my family back then. And so moving to America, being away from them, holidays was the worst. We got Christmas coming up right now. And I remember back then, it used to be so hard for me because I would see other people, even their families would come visit to watch our games. And I still didn't have my family here. So people don't understand these little things, man. You would miss home cooked meals, all this stuff. So you were a 4-star recruit. They say you were balling, bro. You were top 50 player in the country coming out of high school. Number 13 power forward. Was all this normal? Like, did you get to the point where you were like, okay, I'm the man? What was that? What was that? All that attention like?
Like for me, I was so late bloomer. I didn't like, to be honest, in live periods. If anybody know what live periods is, it's basically when college coaches around the court watching you play. So for me, I was new to AAU. So I'm asking my team, I'm like, bro, why all these people sitting around the court? I don't know what these people is. You know what I mean? I'm just out here playing. I'm like, well, all these people just sitting around the court, got paper and all that. Then they'll tell me like, oh, it's college coaches. I was like, oh, jeez, I'm coming from I
watch you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I'm shocked. I'm like, oh my God, college. You see what I'm saying? So after that, then I started just taking off. Like after that first tournament, got 50 offers. And I'm like, oh man, I could really go to school and really make money. And, you know what I mean? So in that situation, that kind of like helped me. I'm getting hip on what's going on out here. So the crazy thing about it is I got in the top 50 after Adidas All-Star game because I was like ranked like 114. So after I went to that Adidas camp, they jumped me all the way up to 50. You see what I'm saying? So I wasn't 50. until they jumped me up and until they seen me when I went to that All-Star camp. Because I'm coming from St. Pete, for basketball, and I was able to jump, but I was never really into the ranking thing. I didn't really know until people was like telling me, "Oh, you were this and that." I didn't really know about 4 stars and all that kind of stuff.
The only thing I knew about the stars is only when I got invited to the ABCD camp.
Yeah.
And that's when it really took off for me, because nobody knew who I was. I came from Nigeria. I never played high school ball. That's why sometimes I get jealous a little bit, because I'm like, man, like I hear people talking about their high school days, because it seems like everybody grows up playing AAU or high school, and then you go to college, but you see the same people along the way.
You do.
You know what I mean? And so I kind of just jumped on the scene. I went to this ABCD camp, and people, like coaches, like jumping, trying to see, who is this dude? Where did he come from? Athletic, big dude, not still trying to figure out how to move and stuff. But when I dunked, you would know I dunked. You would hear that from all the way next door. I block shots, all this stuff. So people just could see that raw talent. And so they, I jumped into the top rankings too. And then, we got a little history, man. We go back to the SEC. We played against each other, kind of played against each other. But at the time when you played, I was a redshirt, and then I was like a freshman that played minimum minutes.
Right.
And I remember playing against you guys, and man, all I remember is you just running up and down the court the whole time, dunk on this end, dunk. I was like, man, and you are running our big man at the time.
AJ Ogilvy or something, right?
AJ Ogilvy, yeah, and he was a talented big dude, man, from Australia, and playing against, and then I saw you as an athlete. This is me introducing myself to basketball for real now. I'm in college. I'm at Vanderbilt. You're at University of Florida. What was it like going from, obviously you was, 4-star recruit, all these things, and then you go to college, but you're on a championship team. Tell me about picking Florida, University of Florida. Why'd you pick University of Florida?
Well, I had built a great relationship with those assistant coaches, Donnie Jones, Louis Preston, Larry Shyatt, Rob Lanier, mostly Donnie Jones, who at Stetson right now. Shout out to Donnie. That was one of my guys who I stayed connected to from the whole time during recruitment. And it was crazy because I was kind of like leaning towards Miami because of you know how like recruiting, sometimes coaches think they got you. So they kind of like take a step back and like chill, like, oh, we got him. But I didn't know any better, so I didn't know they was doing that. So I was about to commit to Miami on the phone, but some kind of way Donnie and them found out. And then talked to them, clicked over, talked to them. Then I was up there on campus visiting a couple of days later. And then when I went there to visit on the game, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm going to be able to play in this kind of situation. So
you was just picturing playing, and they had just won the championship the year before, right? So the atmosphere was crazy. You see all this talent, but going to a team like that, though, you already see that they got a talented team. So if you come to this team, you know that you're going to have to pay your dues. What did you think about that whole process? Because when you came in, you only played like 6 minutes a game your freshman year?
Yeah. It was 6 minutes, and it was a blessing because I knew that those guys is coming back, so I'm gonna be able to practice against those. So the game's gonna be way easier compared to suiting up every day in practice playing against Joakim Noah, Al Horford, Chris Richard, Corey Brewer, those guys who top 15 players. You know what I mean? So in that situation, to be honest, the first week or two of me practicing with those guys, I was like, man, I can't play here. I can't handle this. These guys kicking my, you know what I mean? I can't play here until I figured it out, until I got bowled in a jaw a couple of times, stitches, because now I was like, oh yeah, this is the time. This is why I went to Hargate, staying in those rooms those nights, grinding daily for opportunities like this. And once I figured it out, it was all she wrote. You could talk to all those guys, how most, like me as a freshman, when I figured it out, now I'm going at these guys and we competing now. It ain't no just one-sided now. It's days I'm gonna win, days y'all gonna win. It ain't no more one-sided, you know what I mean?
Isn't it fun? It's funny how that stuff click, right? Because I was talking to my college coach last night, and we were talking about this, Kevin Stallings, and he was talking about how as a freshman, I came in, I was getting my ass kicked every day in practice, bro. Every day. Dude, they already knew. Every time they called the teams, I was getting my ass kicked. And then yours was quicker than mine because I didn't figure it out till my second year. My second year is when I came in. They was like, man, these games are a little harder. Halfway through, I started winning all the games. You know what I mean? So it's so funny how that transition happened. But what is it? Who gave you that perspective though to understand that I know it's hard right now, but if you're practicing against these guys who are better than you every day, you're gonna get better and you're gonna get to where you need to get to. Who helps you get that kind of perspective?
Assistant coaches, Donnie Jones, Lewis Preston, those guys always stayed on me like, man, you got the talent, man. It's the reason why you're here. Even like the players, like I was real close with Al Horford. We used to talk before I even got to Florida. Chris Richard, talking to those guys, it's just like you got to just figure it out, man. You here for a reason, and once you figure it out, you're gonna take off. And I was just always took it in and just like I say, I come from the hood, bro. You got to figure things out, and I figured it out. I was like, man, I belong here, so I'm gonna make sure I belong here. So it got me through, man. It was tough though. It was tough. Those guys really humbled me.
Your second year, you come in hooping.
Yeah.
14 points, 14.5 points a game, 8 rebounds a game, 1.4 blocks. And then after that, you're like, okay, I'm pro now. I want to go pro. Talk me through that decision, bro. How do you realize that it's time for you to take that jump? Like, you had been, you was excited to come to college, but now it's like, okay, I got to figure out, do I want to graduate or do I want to go out here and make money and take care of my family?
No, it was a tough decision for sure because the time went so quick. Being a sophomore and leaving, having my opportunity to leave, that goes so quick. So I was building my resume up crazy because Coach Donovan, man, he was getting the best out of me. All the coaches was getting the best out of me. So it's in a situation like, do I want to help my family out? Do I want to help myself and my family out, or come back another year? So I'm like, if things happen that other year, man, anything can happen. Nigga tear his leg up, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and try to go to the NBA because I finished that season. Averaging 20 and 10, had some big games. My last game we lost, I had 16 and 19 rebounds. So I'm like, you know what I mean? I know my name is out there.
So you knew you were gonna get drafted. Like you knew if I put my name in.
Yeah, I'm gonna test the waters. Then when I test the waters, I'm going to do these workouts. I'm working out with Joe Boomersoy there at Impact. Me and Joe Alexander, we working out there daily. Oh, I know it's time. Oh yeah, I'm ready. You see what I'm saying? So I got an opportunity, man. I was thinking about coming back. I wanted to come back, but I was like, do it make sense? You know what I mean? Like,
you scared at all though? Because a lot of times we also, as much as everybody say like, yo, you gonna get drafted, there's still this little fear of like, what if I don't?
See,
what
like
if I jump out here and I don't?
So in my situation, I had 17 workouts. So I was with Andy Miller at the time. I kind of had I worked out for Cleveland 4 times, 5 times. I worked out for Philly 3 times, 2 times. So I knew that I was gonna get drafted by Philly or Cleveland. I kind of had a guarantee for one of those. If I didn't go to Philly, JJ Hickson was going to Philly, and I was going to Cleveland, and vice versa. You know what I mean? Because we was the same. Me and him was with Andy, and you know what I mean, we worked out different places. We knew we was gonna go with either one of them.
Oh, okay.
But still different when you hear a name get called, like you saying. Like
tell me about your draft, man. Tell me, were you there?
No, I didn't go. I stayed at the house.
You were with your family.
Yeah. So
emotional moment for me, bro.
Oh my God, bro. Like you kind of know you're gonna get drafted, but that still don't matter, bro, until
when you hear your name.
You know what I'm talking about, they make that call, like, yeah, we about to pick you right now. And then you still look, then when you hear your name, oh my God, bro.
Okay, with the 16th pick to the Philadelphia 76ers, Maurice Mo Speights. You think I didn't know about Akeem, did you?
I probably have 100 people at my grandma's house. Everybody was just, wow. Manager in the room with me because I was in the back room because I knew it was about to go there. I didn't want everybody coming jumping on me. So I had my manager in the room with me. She almost broke my neck, bro. I'm like, yo, what are you doing, bro?
Everybody's so happy, man. Like dude, I'm over here like I go hug my dad. My dad is a stoic. Like he don't show no emotions or nothing. Yeah. I can see it in his face, man. This dude was like, man, because I had to really bet on myself and said, I want to play basketball. I came back. You talked about almost getting, like, you didn't want to come back to school because you don't know if you're going to get injured or anything. I actually came back. I could have left my junior year. I came back a week before school starts or before the season starts. I tear my knee up. And people thinking I'm done. I'm not going to play basketball no more, right? And for me to work my way through that, come back, dude, I can't even tell y'all, but came back and we win a championship, SEC championship that year. You know, that was special. And so when I'm thinking about when I get drafted, I'm thinking about all these things, all those tough nights, all those, you talk about crying at Hargrove Military. And so what's going through your mind, man? What you thinking about? What you thinking about for the future now? You like, man, I'm in the NBA.
I'm like you said, man, you think about that, bro. You come from Nigeria, I'm coming from St. Pete. So I'm like, man, you only see an NBA on TV, man. There's no way I can make it there. You see what I'm saying? I can't. That's TV, man. I ain't even thinking about the NBA. Then do the steps, man. You kind of get closer and closer. Like, damn, I might could play. But nah, it's too far away. Then, like you said, on draft week or going through those workouts, you can fly different places working out. Then you get the opportunity to get drafted. Like, bro, what else it is in life to do? You see what I'm saying?
But it's a new.
Yeah. Sorry. Like, man, like, the process. Then you gotta go. You all with your family. You gotta go the next morning, go to the city, and like, man, you just taking all this, and you don't really understand it until you sit down. Like, oh my God, bro, I really just changed. I really just made history. Because you get drafted, you making history. No matter what people think about it, you making history. You got drafted, bro. That is history in the books, and nobody never could take anything from nobody. So
you don't understand that part. Yeah, what you said is so important. You make history because a lot of us are coming from situations. I was the first person from. Matter of fact, in my high school back home in Nigeria, even though I didn't play no basketball there, they have a sign that says "Where champions are made." Because you don't understand the people that you're touching, man. And so I can't imagine what it is for you being the first player from St. Pete's and making it in the league.
Yeah. It's crazy, bro. Just emotional. You it's emotional. It's emotional. That was the first time I really been emotional in my life. That was really emotional. I couldn't hold it in.
So now you start new, and that's what this is about, rebuilding the beast, right? So now you start new again. Now you get into the league. Now you got to figure out how to be a professional. This is your job now. You're not playing for fun. This is your job. What is changing in your head? What do you remember anything from that first year and your whole experience with basketball, playing against people you've been watching growing up?
It's just like you saying. It's just like you really gotta manage your time now because you're going from college basketball to NBA basketball. Now you going to school, you got study hall, you got basketball practice, you got this and that and that. Now the NBA, now you got practice and nothing else. So you got to figure out what do you got to do, what kind of routine you got to do to not get in trouble, to not be out all night, to eating right, and just trying to be like you saying, professional. So for me, I'm watching all the older guys. I'm watching Elton Brand. I'm watching Thaddeus. Thad was young. I'm watching Iguodala, Lou Will. I'm watching Andre Miller. I'm looking at all these guys. I'm taking away from everyone they doing. Reggie Evans, my big homie. I'm looking at all them. So they doing it like, oh yeah, that's where I'm gonna steal what they got going on because I want to be in the league for how long ever I can. It's already a blessing to be here. I'm supposed to be here anyway, so when I'm here, I'm always stay. You see what I'm saying? So I just really got all the stuff from different players, man, and took a little bit from everybody and just put it into my life, and it helped me, man. It helped me.
That's really cool that you played with Iguodala to start, and then full circle came back. We don't come back to that part, but do you remember what's your welcome to NBA moment? I don't know whether it's playing against somebody you had been looking up to, or getting your ass kicked by somebody who you just getting your ass kicked because you're like, man, this is the NBA for real, or being able to do something that you couldn't do before. What was your welcome to NBA moment?
Sure, just like you saying, I'm being around these guys who I've been watching on TV, bro. Like 4 months ago, just watching these guys. Like, damn, bro, these boys nice. They ain't being able to. Like, I played my first preseason game. I played against Boston Celtics after they won a championship. So I see KG down there. I think Shot on the team, or maybe, I don't know, not 100%. Paul Pierce. Them boys down there warming up. I'm like, oh shit.
Man, you about to play against the guys.
Yeah, playing against these guys all go so quick. Then the first time that really made me say, "Oh my God, it's the NBA," is when I played Kobe. Andre hit a game winner in LA, and then after the game, me and Lou Williams sitting at it. So like in LA, you know they got the vending machine right there going down the tunnel by the bus. Kobe came up and spoke to us. I'm like, oh, that's the first time in my life I ever got nervous by somebody saying anything to me, bro. Like that was one of the best feelings I ever had. Like, oh my God, this man really acknowledged me and said what's up to me. You know what I mean?
Crazy how Kobe Bryant is everybody's welcome to. I mean, not everybody, but our generation of players is like this dude was the guy. You know, people talk about Michael Jordan, but we got to play against him and seeing this guy. That was my first game I ever saw live when I first came to Nigeria. My uncle took me to a Lakers game, and I watched Kobe. My first game in the league was against the Lakers in preseason against Kobe. And I'm starting that game. I'm starting in the center circle, and Kobe come up to me trying to give me dap, and my hand is shaking like, you know, and it's just crazy. And I was talking about that game, how I was watching this game. I was playing, but Kobe he does something on the court, and I'm like, man, damn, nice move, man. I'm almost a fan during the game, you know what I mean? At some point it switches though, but at the time it's so crazy that you make it in. So your second year, so you go through your whole first year. Your second year, you come in, you start balling.
Killing, yeah.
But then you go through an injury, man. Tell me about that, because it kind of changed up your year a little bit.
Yeah, like I was killing coming off the bench, leading 6th man of the year for sure. I was killing, we was winning, we was rocking. Young team. I think Eddie Jordan is there now. Eddie Jordan year. But we killing. So in Chicago, you know what I mean, just a regular night. We balling, we hooping, just a regular night. I'm guarding Brad Miller. He bring the ball up a little bit because we kind of like press him a little bit. He brings the ball up. I stick my hand in and try to steal it. And you know what I mean? You know how that knee goes into, his knee went into my inside of my knee, MCL. So I'm like, oh my God, this ain't normal. First time ever being hurt. So I get up and try to walk. I'm like, oh no, what's wrong with it? It's wiggly, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, your legs a little bit like that, yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. So I knew something was wrong. Then I got an MRI, and luckily I was young, so I was able to recover and not having surgery or anything. I was out for like 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
I know, because I've been there. I did that myself. So
yeah, and then after that I came back.
That changed up the year for you, right?
Yeah, it changed up because with time and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like I still finished with a pretty good year. It just we were so bad after that. Our record was really bad. We only won 27 games. So being in Philly, if you ain't, you know what I mean, they'll forget stuff quick if you ain't really winning, and that's what basically anywhere.
So you go through a coaching change the next year. What is it like having a new coach on a team?
You just gotta get their trust back. You just gotta know, like, whatever you did, if you ain't no superstar, whatever you did as a role player before, you gotta keep proving that over and over and over. Because they know the superstars, they know you a little bit, but they ain't hands-on with you like that. So you're gonna have to.
You're trying to gain the trust of the superstars first. That's in the league. They're trying to get to the superstars first, and everybody else follows. So
yeah, you gotta follow your line. You just gotta be in your, you know what I mean, know your spot. So that's what happened. I was going through that. I was, you know what I mean, competing, trying to prove my point. Because you know what I mean, if you can't prove your point, you're gonna get out of the league or they're gonna trade you. And
that's actually a good point right there. You got traded the following year. First time getting traded, you traded to Memphis.
I kind of like, it was kind of like a forced trade though, because the next year, because our man Doug didn't get along, we kind of like, you know what I mean, had a little bad, kind of like a bad relationship. You know what I mean? So the next year, I'm sitting out in training camp. I ain't doing anything. You see what I'm saying? Because I wanted to get traded the year before, but they wouldn't do it because they ain't had no team. So when we figured out they had a team, when Zebo got hurt in Memphis, I was like, oh yeah, I know I'm about to go. So with me, I'm sitting out. See, I played, I think the last game when I was in Philly uniform is when we played in Golden State, matter of fact. And then got back home and went on road to New Orleans. I got traded when I was in New Orleans to Memphis.
New team, new
Yep.
situation. What's that like?
A fresh start, man. That's what life is about, just having a fresh start. Sometimes you might be in a situation that is good and bad, but going to another situation, like, it makes you uncomfortable, and uncomfortable is going to get the best out of you. And Lionel Hollins and the Memphis organization trusted me and saved my career because, yes, I'm going over there nervous. I don't know what to expect. My first time getting traded, I'm young. I thought I was doing good in Philly. Then I guess when I got traded, I mean, a team like you, a team know what you got. So for me, we're going to Memphis, playing with these guys who got a great foundation. Mike Conley, Mark Gasol, Rudy Gay. These guys is good in the West. You know what I mean? So go team like that and come off the bench for 1 or 2 games, then start the rest of the season. I know if they had a lot of confidence in me. Lionel Hollins is a great guy, man. One of the best coaches to play for because you're going to get the best out of you. You're not going to sugarcoat anything. You're going to keep it real. And then being on that team with those grit and grind guys, Tony Allen, those guys going to push you to the match. And they pushed me to the match, and I was able to go there and restart my career because I feel like if I was in Philly still, I would be able to never know where I'd be at right now because, like I said, that relationship with those guys up there was a little different. Not because my game, but just off the stuff that people always kind of label guys like, oh, he's look a little crazy. He gotta go talk to a psychologist. Like,
yeah. So that's another thing in the NBA. Like, dude, they stereotype you. Once you get the label, that's gonna follow you the rest of your career. He's the bad guy. He's the tough guy. No matter what, if you get a label, that's your label. That's it. And so now you gotta fight through that label that you got from the previous coach and the previous coaching staff. And so you come into a new team and whatnot. Did y'all have a good year that year in Memphis?
Yeah, we was 3rd seed.
Wow.
Yeah, I got there. My first game I played against Utah, a couple minutes. First time I got traded that same day. I played that same night. Then the second game, played against the Lakers. I had a good game against them. Then after that, we had days off, and I started from there. So Zebo was out. I started holding it down until Zebo came back. And that was amazing. That was an amazing time, bro. Memphis.
Wow. Going from a losing, you guys were losing in Philly, right? The year before?
We made the playoffs 3 out of 4 years. We just missed playoffs once.
Okay. Now you're on Memphis. But I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because y'all had a good season with Memphis, and I'm gonna fast forward to kind of how we met up again because we played in college a little bit, not really, and now we teammates. 2013, you signed with the Warriors, bro, and you coming into a new team. Tell me about that, man. You signing with a new team. This time you picked this team. This is not a team you got traded to. This is your first time picking your own team.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you pick the Warriors and kind of what were you expecting?
To be honest, like it was a team like, oh man, I'm going to the Bay. I never really liked it. Like, like going to teams, you never really get to go to the city like that. You just go to play and get out. So I used to always thought there was always gloomy and rainy. I'm like, oh, how do they play out here? You know what I mean? So when my agent told me like, oh, Golden State might have an offer for you, I'm like, man, like you watching them. Because you just seen what y'all just did against Steph just did, or y'all just did against Spurs and Nuggets. You watching them now like, damn, and then for them to be able to call me like that, because I'm watching them a little bit. I know y'all got what kind of game y'all got. You got Carl Lindsey coming off the bench. You got Jerry Jack. You got yourself. You know what I mean? You got Draymond, all them boys. So you're kind of looking at them, but you'll never think they trying to hit you up because I'm like, I got traded to Cleveland. Man, we trash, and like nobody see us over here. But that's another thing that I say, like, no matter what team you on, as you're a pro, no matter what team you on, guys is watching. No matter if you want,
because you're a piece for somebody, even if you're on a losing team.
So somebody's always watching, and that's why I was able to go to Golden State because I went to Cleveland and was able to handle my own over there, help me win some games, and you know what I mean, signed with y'all guys and took off. Took off, man. It was amazing out there, man. I never thought I'd have a time of my life out there like that, man. Those people out there in Oakland and San Fran, the Bay is amazing, bro.
Fans were insane, man. They even dubbed you Mo Buckets because you were, dude. Coming on a team like that, especially with the kind of camaraderie that we had, man. Like, dude, this is years later. We haven't played together in years. We still talk all the time. We still, still check on each other. you really form a bond when you play with dudes that you care about, that you like. And part of the success we had was because we had that good chemistry. How did you, when you come into a new squad, everybody has an ego in the NBA. We all think that we the best player at every position. We all want to be the starter, be the star. But you came in, and from the start, dude, me and you were competing for a position as the backup center. But me and you was we were just tight the whole time because I knew what my role was. I came in as the defensive punch. You came in as the offensive punch. You are more buckets coming in, getting busy. How do you accept your role? Tell me about accepting your role though, as this is my job, this is what I do, because that's really the start of a great team. Is everybody got to accept what they bring to the table, and that's how we win.
I just think for my first year there, starting with Mark Jackson, man, he kind of let guys really do what he wanted to do. You see what I'm saying? He ain't really had too many rules, kind of have screens on guys. So that was a little helpful being around him and learning, getting to know him. And then the guys on the team, man, like, Mo, you know what you're supposed to do. Festus, you know what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? I'm coming here. I'm just being honest. I'm not going in there getting no defensive stops. I ain't really reason I'm coming to the game. So being able to have coaches and leaders and guys on your team that's helping you trying to come as one, you're going to listen to that. Because I've been in different situations in my career. So I'm like, man, I'm going to come out here. I'm a new team. I'm ready, man. I'm out here for a reason. I ain't out here just to be out here. I'm out here for a reason. Guys know what I could do. And for me, watching y'all the year before, I know y'all had Carl Landry. So, shit, we're going to bring Mo Speights in and be another, like what Carl Landry did. And he's to hold it down for y'all. So I'm like, shit, I'm going to try to get that whole role. And I think I did a pretty good job with it.
You did, man. And did you ever think, so we were building a team, and the team now is the team that everybody wants to be on, as a team that's a great championship team. But that's not what we came to, right? Did you think that we had a chance to win a championship when you first got there? This is an honest answer. How did you see the team?
When we first got there, not really. But we all knew after we lost to the Clippers, in that locker room, we all knew we was going to come back the next year and be sky the limit. Because I remember you would probably remember stories like, bro, what about if we could really win a championship? What would we do? We always used to say that.
Yeah. And then it starts with a dream. It starts with a dream.
Because the development from that Clipper loss to the next year was night and day. Coach Kerr come in, guys is more swagged out, guys is ready. You see what I'm saying? So I never think we would win the championship at the beginning of that year, but when we kept going and we kept going, it's like, oh shit, we got a chance. We on the rise right now. You see what I'm saying?
So we go, your first year, we lose in the first round of playoffs, but we fought, and it was like we were having some injuries. We still fought, and the following year was the year I came back from an injury, and we had a whole squad back, and it was like we started winning games, and the belief was crazy because we started believing in ourselves and the things we were about to do. But even when Barbosa in the middle of the year, he goes in an interview after the game and he says, "We're gonna be championship. We're gonna win a championship." People are looking, even the reporter, even Ross looked at him like, you can't, what are you saying? You can't say that, right? But that's the kind of belief that we had. It's like, yo, we have a squad. Like, we can do something, you know?
And that's what, like you said, it came to life that we started feeling that. Everybody started feeling that. We all started to hang out more around, outside of basketball. When you get that bond, man, it took off. Guys was clicking at the right time. Niggas was doing the right time. People was getting hurt. Guys were stepping up. And that's why we had that name. You know what I mean? Strength in numbers, because that year was strength in numbers.
So just tell me about the championship, man. We win the championship. Tell me about that. Is it worth it? Is it worth the fight? Is it worth everything that we've been through our whole careers, coming from St. Pete, all that?
Nah, just like when you in it, you don't really realize how important that really is. Like you see, like, oh my God, we here, we won a championship, we did all this, we win. You know what I mean? Doing all these games and really won a championship. You kind of like, damn, sit back until you realize, like, damn, bro, we were champions, bro. Like, we made history again. You know what I mean? And to do it with those guys, do it with the brothers we have, all us so close, all us arguing with each other, all us, playing cards on, you know what I mean? We going to God's house and doing barbecues and just, You know what I mean? Doing all that kind of stuff, that all the stuff we thought was just, we don't want to do this event. Coach taking us bowling in like Minnesota when it's cold.
Yeah.
So you think about all this kind of stuff, and then you just like growing up, then you're like, damn, man, coach seen something else we ain't seen. And then to win that championship, bro, to do that for that city, that area in the Bay Area, bro, is bigger than what we still like don't know. Like that is bigger. Them people never forget that, man. You go any one of those Warriors guys walking in any neighborhood and the Bay Area is over. Like you already know how that is, and you up there, you still be up there mostly. And they still show you love like you play.
A lot of love all the time, always. You see them all over social media. So I'm gonna fast forward then. So we're on the top now. And so we like, yo, we belong. It's the confidence that comes with winning the championship. And so we come back the following year and we are blitzing. Like it's the same confidence. We're going through the season feeling like we can't lose. Remember that season?
Yeah. We won 24, right?
Lost 24-0, we start off the season. And we run up that season and we break the record for most wins in history of the NBA.
That was amazing, man. That game in Memphis, at home against Memphis, one of the best games I've ever been a part of. The energy in the arena, the energy in the city before the game, the energy during the game, man, that was something that you would have thought that was a championship game. But
yeah, we're about to break the record, man. It's crazy. Like this little measly team at one point, now we're about to be the best team in the history. And then what I remember about that game is after the game, we all run to the locker room to go see what Kobe did, because that was Kobe's last game too, you know? And so we go through that season, man. We're in the finals, and we're supposed to that championship trophy is ours. Like we're on a mission, and we start having some injuries. We start having, Draymond gets suspended, and all these things start happening. And all of a sudden, we lose the 3-1 lead in the finals. So we go from this high to this crazy low. Remember that period for yourself, man? After we lost, what was that feeling like, man?
But we're gonna rewind it a little bit. You gotta think about that OKC series when we down 3-1.
We were down 3-1, yeah, in the Western Conference Finals. We were down 3-1, and we're like, we can't end it like this.
I'm gonna keep it a bean. I thought it was over with. I was like, there's no way we're coming back. These boys is killing. These boys is too good. That was the best team in the league that year. They was too good. KD was killing. Westbrook was killing. The bench was killing. I'm like, there's no way we're gonna come back and win this. So I'm already gone. It's like, shit, man, it was a good ride, bro. It's over with. You know what I mean? Some kind of way, we figure out a way to get to the championship. Then we got to the championship, bro. It's kind of like that whole year we was all beat up. But one thing Iguodala always said, bro, from the beginning of the year, we was winning games because we know how to win games. We wasn't winning games because we was playing good. So we knew at some time it was going to bite us, bro, that when it's time to play some real basketball, we could do it, but we didn't do it enough that year because we was winning games because we know how to win games. And it kind of bit us when we played against Bron them. You know what I mean? They just caught the wave because we was killing them we was up 3-1 for a reason. And then the basketball guys, bro, when you try to
cheat the game, when you cheat the game, they always say that. I don't know if I say that we really cheat the game, because you don't get to break history and make history if you're cheating the game necessarily. I just think there were some things like, like Draymond's technicals at the time. There's like little things that finally caught up to us. I mean, we played 2 finals back to back. Like people don't understand. I don't know how Bron has done it to this point, that he's gone to 9 straight at 9 out of 10 NBA finals in a row. Is crazy. And he's out there, the leading scorer, leading minutes, leading rebound, assists, all these things in the finals every year. And people are like, oh, what's going on? We went to 2 back-to-back. The Warriors went to 5. And by the 5th one, the whole building wanted to explode because everybody was getting hurt. You know what I mean? So it's not, this is hard, and it's part of it. But tell me about, after we lose this 3-1 lead, man, what's going through your mind? How you doing? Because I wanted to go hide. So I was in my house for a month. Not even about hiding. I just felt bad, man. Like I was like, man, like you just feel bad.
For me, like something happened like negative like that, you kind of like, for me, I was mad because remember we was talking outside. Yeah. We was talking outside. You kind of get mad, but you understand like, bro, it's just another hump in life. We have to get over it. Like when that game over, boy, it's over, boy. When that buzz go, and you lose, it's like, I can't really, you know what I mean? You can't really keep thinking about it because it's gonna it'll eat you up, boy. If you keep thinking about it. So it was good that my family was out there and was able to really just celebrate just life, man. Celebrate just we don't supposed to be here anyways. You see what I'm saying? So it was hurting. It did hurt. It's still kind of like when I think about it now, it's like, damn, how did we lose that? But bigger picture, man, it was a blessing. That year, man, that year was one of the best years of my life. The year we lost, because if you think about the beginning of the year, man, everywhere you went, you gave everybody best, and everywhere you went, it was like a championship game. And that's what guys don't understand about our team. Like the year after we won, we was getting everybody best. Everybody's a sold out game. Everybody is a hostile environment, and we was getting through it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff made me like think like, yeah, we lost, but that year was one of the best years I ever had in my life.
Definitely more positives than negatives. I know you got to run, so I just got one more, because after the championship loss, the team kind of broke up. You went to the Clippers, and then you went to Orlando after that. And then this is the part I want to know about, is now you play in China.
Yeah.
Talk to me about basketball in China. What's kind of the difference? Because now you starting playing basketball in a different country and a different environment. We don't really know much about it. So talk to me about that and kind of how you seeing it.
Like, it's more physical. All right, so China basketball is a little bit more physical than everybody think, because you could get away with a lot of more stuff over here. For me being an NBA player, I'm so used to the NBA kind of catering to the players with stuff outside of basketball, flying on your own plane, going in the locker room, have everything ready for you, just all that kind of stuff, have your meals ready for you, pregame, all that kind of stuff. So here it was a different adjustment, because here you got to bring your own uniforms, you got to bring your own shoes to the game. There ain't no private jets. Your locker room is not like our locker room. There's no showering in the locker room. So for me, it was adjustment inside of basketball. Like, you know what I mean? It was a little different. So when I got used to it, it was okay. But the basketball is a little different. I feel like the Chinese players is more like they respect their coaches a little more than guys like in the NBA, because it's like that's how China culture is. Like, if you got a coach, you got somebody who's in charge, you kind of respect them. You don't talk back to them. So it's more like, you know what I mean? It's not
Like college a little bit?
A little bit of college, but it's not. It's a little bit more robotic than college.
Okay. What about practice and stuff? Harder, easier?
Nah, it's like China. They're not really gonna give you no free time. You're gonna practice in the morning. You're gonna practice in the evening time. So
wow,
free time, and practice is what these guys is in their brain. Like, ain't nothing less than 2 hours. Hard 2 hours. Ain't nothing less than 2 hours. Ain't nothing less than, at the end of practice, you running sprints. You're gonna run 3 5s, 3 10s. That's normal to these Chinese players. But for us imports coming over here, it's not normal for us, because we know how to rest our body. We know what it takes to get our body feeling better. But here, it's kind of like, you got to do this, you got to do this, and you better not talk back, and you better do it when they tell you to do it. There's not nothing wrong with that. It's just they culture over here. That's how Asians are. So we're not like that. So we have to adjust to them now. We over here in their stuff. You know what I mean? We in their country, so we got to adjust to them. And sometimes guys come over here, sometimes that's why they get going. That's why they get cut so quick, because
they can't get used to it.
Yeah, if you're not fitting what they doing, if you're not doing what they doing, they're going to find them another import that's going to come in and do what they doing. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. It's a good experience to be able to play basketball all around the world. You get to meet a lot of great people, build a lot of connects over here, and just being able to play, man, basketball, you know what I mean? That's something we dream about doing it for how long ever we can, to make the more money we can and have the most memories for our kids one day. You know what I mean? So
what about the COVID rules right now with everything?
It's way safer over here than over there. You got to have, everywhere you go, you got to get a scaring code to see where you've been at the last 14 days. You got a mandatory quarantine for 14 days. They put you in a random hotel. You don't know where you're going. You're getting all these meals come to your door. You can't leave the room. And then, yeah, so it's barely no cases. There ain't no cases over here, basically, because I said, the Asian Chinese people, like, if you don't listen to the government, something might happen to you. You know what I mean? So you gotta listen to them. If you don't, shit, they're gonna get you out of here some kind of way.
My last question for you, bro, is, if you had to go back to young Mo back in Hargrove Military, or back, when you was first, visiting pops in the big house, what do you talk to? What kind of advice do you give young Mo? What would you say to him if you had to give some advice to your younger self?
But it's kind of tough because it's probably, let me see, I'll just say probably in the league. I ain't gonna say back because, you know what I mean? I think everything in life happens for a reason. So I don't know because I think if I would changed anything, I would never be here right now. You see what I'm saying? So I think that path is my path. But for the league, I think for my first 5 years, I think I would pay attention more to the guys who coming in, who speak with us, the financial stuff, the stuff about outside of basketball. Like, you know how it is when you're young. They come, you have all these meetings every year, 4 or 5 meetings every year. You're like, yeah, let's get it over with. Let's do this hour meeting and go back and practice. So I say my first 3 years, I think I should have been able to learn more about 401k, about benefits and all that kind of stuff, instead of waiting until like my last 5, 6 years to really focus. If I would learned that from the beginning, I think it would have been way better.
There's a lot of stuff that the NBA does now to help us, and definitely, especially as guys who have been on all these successes and play in the league, they have benefits that help us even now. Still,
Yeah.
A lot of my injury, they took care of a lot of that stuff. So shout out to them for that, man. But shout out to you though, man. I appreciate you. All I had to do was just ask you, bro, and you said, yeah, for sure. I want to. This is what you do, and actually, you also do some stuff in the community out there in St. Pete, man. You help the kids out, try to get them to college and to play pro. You talk a little bit about that first before you leave?
Yeah, man. I've been doing the AAU program with my AAU program, Team Speights, man. It's about giving back and just seeing like changing kids' family, changing parents who in the situation where I come from that I know they can't afford to go to college. So those are the kind of kids I want. I don't really want kids who big time name. I want the kids who underdogs who nobody really want to talk about, because those are the kids gonna work and run through the wall for you because you trust in them, you believe in them. So I say over the last 10 years, well, I've been around the last 4 years. I got like 40 kids in college, but over the time when my guy Aaron Holmes.
Wait. So you got 40 kids into college?
Yeah, the last 4
years. 40?
Yeah.
Dude, don't be skipping over that. That's a big deal, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of money those kids got. You see what I'm saying?
Wow, man. That's awesome.
But since I had Team Speights, guys on the Team Speights, I got over 120 kids in college. Wow. Everybody who put the name on the Team Speights, who was ever running it. On the Team Speights, I got 120 kids in college. You know what I mean?
Yeesh, man. This is a blessing, man. This is the whole point of this whole thing, is you turn your pain and where you came from into your purpose, man. I appreciate you, bro. We need more people doing that. See, nobody even knows about this stuff, man. That's awesome. That's awesome, bro.
Hey, man, I don't really try to do, I don't really like doing stuff just because for me to try to get, you know what I mean, love for somebody. I do it because I genuinely want to do it and I want to help the people. You know what I mean? So anything I could do, man, to try to like help people, bro. I don't need no cameras around. I don't need all that kind of stuff around. I'm just here to really help because this is my calling. Because if I had that growing up, you know what I mean, I've been a totally different person. I ain't had none of that growing up, man. And where we, like I was telling you earlier, where we from, we don't supposed to be here. We don't supposed to be here anyways.
No, we're not. So that's why I appreciate you sharing your story. Somebody could hear this and be inspired to do more out there. So, man, thank you, bro. I know you're hungry, so go get some food, bro. Thank you.
I know, appreciate it, bro. Be safe out there, man.
We'll connect soon.